Hey everyone, welcome into August of 1994. We're starting the day out doing some chopping here, get our silage done. We definitely need to get this done as soon as possible because things have not gone well this summer. Um, we're hurting, and we're hurting bad. The silage bales that I made have not fermented yet. They should finally finish up this month. I have no idea why it's taken 3 months. That's new to me. I did not realize it would take 3 months for silage bales to ferment. So that's really, really bad. That has caused us to have to buy silage in order to feed our cattle. That took all of our money. Now we're sitting at 32,000 because I took out another loan this month. I took out a $25,000 loan for 1 year. Now, my plan is to have that paid off right after harvest. We're going to sell grain right away this year. We'll sell it in December. And hopefully, we'll make enough that we can pay that loan off because I absolutely cannot afford to pay on that loan all year long. We may lose the farm here. I'm not really sure what to expect moving forward here. We've had to borrow money, and we definitely do not have the income to pay it back. So things are not looking great right now. Now, I am hopeful that we can make it work somehow, even if that means cutting our cattle herd in half. If we have to do that, maybe if we have to sell off, I don't know. We may end up having to sell off one of these farms. That might not, we might not have a choice in that. It's a little scary, to be honest, trying to figure out what to do here moving forward. But for now, we're going to worry about getting this silage chopped. That way we can at least get our cattle fed and stop spending money to feed the cattle. Now, with those bales being ready this month, that means, we're going to be able to at least feed off of what we have and not spend money. So, as long as this silage is ready in, a couple of months, we're fine. But I definitely want to, make sure that this is, A, going to be ready by the time we're out of our silage bales, and B, make sure that we have enough. I know I already said I want to make sure I never run short again. And then I got greedy, tried to expand way too fast, and we ran short. So, gonna have to be a little more diligent here moving forward. The next couple years, 2-3 years at least, are gonna be a bit tight and definitely stressful. But I have faith that we can make it work and come out the other side, well ahead. Thankfully, we've already bought all of the equipment that we really needed to continue, upgrading and expanding this farm and staying, for the size that it is. So we don't really have too many equipment expenses as long as nothing breaks down. So that's a good thing. It's mostly just making sure that we can pay our loans and continue putting crop in the ground so that we can continue an income here. All right, we got our first wagon load here, and I guess I didn't even mention earlier, we have a new wagon. We have a new wagon because we needed this style to unload into our silo. So I did put up a silo this summer. At the time, I thought everything was good, so we spent the money, put it up, and it was after that I discovered we messed up, and we messed up big. So we have the silo. That's a good thing. Bad thing is, we definitely ended up needing that money really, really bad, and that's why we had to take out this loan. Now, this loan is not the end of the world by any means. It's just, frustrating. That's all it really is. It's just frustrating. But part of buying this silo was we also had to buy a new blower, so we have a new international blower here to fill this silo full of chaff. and it's very touchy. Very, very touchy. You have to be in just the right spot. The trigger could definitely be a little bit bigger. Alright, so that is one trailer load into our silo. Now, the nice thing about the silo is we don't have to do any packing. No extra work, just get it full. And it'll ferment due to the design of the silo. It does all the fermenting on its own, so that is one good thing about it. But we're going to do about 10 trailer loads. These trailers hold 35,000. So that should give me, 350,000 liters. That will definitely be enough to get us through 1 year. So 10 trailer loads is the goal. And that's trailer number 1, so we got 9 to go. Alright, well, as you can see, things have changed a bit. The used market had this old New Holland chopper. It's got 60 hours on it, and after selling off our chopper and the chopper head and buying this New Holland self-propelled chopper and the head for it, we only spent like $3,000. And this is going significantly faster. It covers more ground per pass. Now, obviously, the way this is set up, it's not working that way at the moment, but our next pass will be a full header width, so that'll be very good. And this is just going to get us done a lot faster, make things a lot easier, and I can put a little bit less hours on the 1586, as it does have a lot of hours already. So this is actually going really, really well now, and I'm very happy with it. Like I said, it only cost us about $3,000 to change it over, as it was used with an extreme amount of hours, but the hours don't really matter on the chopper so much, because we only use it one time a year, and then the rest of the year it just sits in the shed, so no big deal there. But this is our 4th wagon load so far, so we're not quite halfway done, but we are getting close. Alright, we got our last trailer load here of chaff, so we're going to go ahead and get this dumped into the silo and get everything washed up, put away, just in time for the rain to start. So once the rain is done, then we can go ahead and start mowing all of our alfalfa. So in that meantime, we haven't fed any of our cattle yet, and we have a lot of feeding to do. So we're going to do that while it's raining, and like I said, once the rain stops, we can go ahead and start mowing our alfalfa and getting it baled up. And I need to figure out something to do for bale storage. Stacking bales over here is all of a sudden not a great option. So I found that if I start unloading this and jump out of the tractor, it unloads on its own without me having to hit the button every 5 seconds. And I also switched tractors. The 1586 just was not pulling this trailer through the hills very well. It got a little too heavy, a little too fast. But no big deal. We got the 7250 out to take care of that, so everything is good to go. But once this is done unloading, we'll go ahead and get everything put away, like I said, cleaned up, and start feeding our cattle. Alright, the rain has stopped. We're set up and we're ready to roll here, so we're going to go ahead and get all of our alfalfa mowed and turned into hay. We've got a few hours left here to kill in the day, so plenty of time to get this hay done and get these fields fertilized. Alright, well, we are done baling in the field over here by the cattle barn, and we definitely got a lot more bales this time around than we did earlier in the spring. So we're at 35 bales so far. Pretty happy with that. I did not expect 35 bales off this field, but we are a little low on bale wrap, so we're going to run back here to the home place, reload with bale wrap, and head into our original alfalfa field to continue baling. So we should end up with, well, we usually get like 46 bales out of that field, and we've got 35 here, so 70, 80? Yeah, somewhere around 80 bales, ballpark. Don't make fun of me, my math is terrible. But, yeah. All right, we're coming up to the end here. I don't think we're going to get enough for another bale, but we ended up with 82. So that will definitely work. 82 bales is a couple more than I thought we would get. So I'm pretty happy with that. We'll go ahead and get this all put away. We are not done baling, however. We do have a lot of stock bales we need to get baled up this year, as we do have a lot of cattle now. So we definitely need plenty of stock bales in order to bed the cattle down. So we will be baling again yet, but we'll go ahead and get this maintenance stuff, get the tractor fueled up, all of that good stuff, and get all these bales picked up and fertilize both of these alfalfa fields. All right, we got all of our bales picked up, so we are now ready to go ahead and start spreading some manure. These fields won't take very long, so we're going to go ahead and get these hammered out, and I will see you guys in October when we are ready to start harvest. Hey everyone, welcome into October. Starting the month off doing our chores as usual. We've got quite a bit of feed we need to get delivered in here to our cows this month. We've got 3 loads into this barn, and both of our other cattle pens need a load each, so we've got 5 loads we got to get delivered here. Upgrading our feed wagon is definitely going to be a top priority here, but probably not for another year, is my guess, as we are definitely hurting for funds. We're down to $11,709. And we have not sold any of our milk yet. We have sold our garden products and our eggs, but that is it. So we've definitely got some milk to sell. We've got harvest to get started and all of our chores to get done here. So it's going to be a very busy month. I'm sure harvest is going to take, quite a while again this year. I'm definitely excited to see if the upgraded header for beans makes a difference. It should make... I'm really hoping, for quite a big difference, but let's be honest, with it only being like 10 feet wider, I don't know if it'll make that big of a difference. But I'm going to stay hopeful that we can, get harvest done a little bit faster this year. But we've got 4 more loads of feed we got to get hauled into our cattle here yet, so we're going to take care of that. And I'll catch up to you guys when we're ready to sell our milk. All right, we are officially out of our silage bales, and I hope I never have to deal with those again in this series. But we can now use the silage out of our harvest store here, so that's going to speed this process up significantly. That's a lot faster than doing it by buckets, that's for sure. Now, I also forgot we have some cattle that we do need to get moved out of the dairy barn and down into our fat cattle lot this month, so that's something else we will need to do. And while we're unloading here, jump the fence, we can see we got a couple new baby Herefords in here. Very, very excited for that. Everybody's looking absolutely fantastic. And apparently they have numbers on their butt. That's interesting. Definitely didn't realize that was a thing. Yeah, so we've got some brand new baby Herefords. I'm very, very happy with that. So we're just going to ignore the fact that they have, like numbers tattooed on their butt. That's kind of crazy. Definitely not where those go here in America by any means, but yeah. So we're done feeding our cattle, and like I said, we have cattle we need to move. We've got milk we need to get sold, so we're going to get to it. And then the harvest. Very excited for this harvest. I'm hoping it's going to be a really good one, but we'll just have to wait and see. All right, we've got 1,391 gallons of milk on here, so we are up slightly from last month, which is very good. So we'll go ahead and get this run into the creamery here, get it sold, and then we can come back, grab the pickup, the stock trailer, and get the cattle moved. All right, we're down here at the creamery. Go ahead and get this sold off. All right, so we need to take $230 off. So we're at $15,292. That's good, but definitely not great. We might end up having to sell our bales a bit early this year just to make sure that, we can keep making our loan payments. I'll have to check, crop prices, see what we're looking at here, and, if we can sell. I'm really hoping maybe we can get something sold off in December to just make sure we can get through the winter, but I haven't checked the crop prices for late 1994 or early 95 yet, so not really sure when we're going to sell our crop, but I'm hoping it's going to be soon. But at least we have a lot of bales to sell that can keep us afloat until then. All right, we have 2 of our calves on here that are ready to be weaned, and in the next few months we're going to have quite a few more. Definitely had a lot of bull calves this year so far, and that's a good thing. Definitely gives us more cattle we can sell as fat cattle in the future here, so very happy with where we're at, honestly. Things are going quite well in the cattle department. And, chickens are chickens, I guess. We're not really making a whole lot of money there from the eggs, but, they're not really costing us any money either. I know I haven't really showed them off much because, there's just not a whole lot going on there. And as you can see, our fat cattle lot is starting to fill up a bit. So we've got quite a few out there. There's a few that are going to be ready here in a couple of months, but they're not quite there yet. So we do have, some options to make money here in the near future. The trouble's going to be making it, to that near future without, going bankrupt here. But we'll go ahead and get this trailer put away, and we are ready to start harvest. All right, well, we ended up getting another 5,285 liters off this field, so we'll go ahead and get this dumped into the bin, and then we can see how much we actually ended up with here. So we've got 159,455 liters, and that converts over to 4,410 bushels. So I'm very happy with what we got for beans. So we're ready to switch everything over to corn. So we'll get the auger moved, get the combine switched over, cleaned out, and ready to rock and roll in our cornfield. All right, we got everything switched over. Got the auger moved over to the bin, got the truck moved over to the auger, and we got the combine switched over. So we're going to go ahead and run all of our headlands off here. So with a 16-row planter and an 8-row head, that means we have 4 headland passes we need to make to get all of our end rows off this field. And once we're done with that, it'll be time to start combining and getting this field opened up. And if you guys remember, we did contour this field. So that means we have to combine this in the same manner in which we planted. So I will catch up to you guys when we get these end rows done, because end rows are pretty basic. Nothing too special about it. But once we're ready to start contouring, I will make sure to check back in with you guys so we can see how doing a harvest in the contour pattern works in FS25 on Iowa Plains View here. All right, we got all of our end rows ripped off the field here, so we're going to go ahead and start on our contour. This first pass might be a little rough, just due to overlap for planting. But I think probably the best way to do this will be from in-cab view. So we're going to go ahead and dive in here, see if I can pick up a row. There we go. Oof. Maybe not. Okay. So, in-cab view might not be the way to go, at least this pass, due to, all of the overlapping here, but you can kind of see, how this worked. And honestly, I'm pretty happy about it. It worked a lot better than I ever thought it would. That is 100% for certain. Now it's just a matter of, how well can I follow my rows here. Seems to be, pretty good. So we'll take off all of this contour. Then we have the ridge we need to do. And then we'll work our way down and finish at the bottom of the field where our flat, kind of the flat bottom area is here. But getting this first pass is going to be a little rough, and I am going to go ahead and drop a straw swath across this entire field. We need all the income we can get. I've got that big $25,000 loan we got to pay off. And yeah, that's not good. So if we look here, looks like I've still got some more to do. Kind of lost track of where I was there in the field. But yeah, this is pretty nifty how this worked. I didn't know if it would actually work out or not, to be entirely honest. Now there's definitely a lot of overlap right here. So that is unfortunate, but yeah, we're going to go ahead and run like this for a while. See, how far we get. Now, doing the end rows, I did dump twice on our grain cart, so it's already a little over half full, which is awesome for, just going around the field. Well, technically, we didn't even go all the way around the field. But, just doing the 2 passes on the end rows worked out quite well. And we're definitely yielding very well. So I'm very, very happy with that. Well, I went ahead and grabbed the 7250 and the grain cart here. We'll go ahead and get this combine emptied out. That's going to get the grain cart pretty close to full. So we're going to run the combine full again, top off the grain cart. We'll go empty it and continue on through this field. Now, we did not make it very far doing the contouring around here before this combine filled up. So that means our yield is doing very, very well, which is a good thing because we are insanely broke. It says we got $14,000. We absolutely do not. We're like $600,000 in debt right now. It is absolutely terrible. But we'll go ahead, drop this down, and get back to it here.
This California weather, it's like 90 degrees. It's making me hot and he has the same effect on me. It's just something about the way that he's making me feel. My insides are out, I just wanna shout his name. My body's giving up on me, cause I don't know what to do with my fingertips. I wanna run up through his hair, but I'm trying not to stare. I get a little starstruck when I see him. I couldn't hate him even if I tried. Am I a little crazy to believe that I could wake up with him by my side? I know I could get his attention if I worked it all out. And we got a little tipsy on a Saturday night. Yeah, I want him and I need him. He's got a one-way ticket to my heart. Ticket to my heart. He's got a one-way. Move a little closer without letting him see. My hands are shaking from the urge of being with him. I act a little dumber when I try to get his number. I'm so nervous that I'm losing grip of myself. My body's giving up on me, cause I don't know what to do with my fingertips. I wanna run up through his hair, but don't stare. I get a little starstruck when I see him. I couldn't hate him even if I tried. Am I a little crazy to believe that I could wake up with him by my side? I know I could get his attention if I worked it all out. And we got a little tipsy on a Saturday night. Yeah, I want him and I need him. He's got a one-way ticket to my heart. Ticket to my heart. He's got a one-way. This California weather, it's like 90 degrees. It's making me hot and he has the same effect on me. I act a little dumber when I try to get his number. I'm so nervous that I'm losing grip on myself. I get a little starstruck when I see him. I couldn't hate him even if I tried. Am I a little crazy to believe that I could wake up with him by my side? I know I could get his attention if I worked it all out. And we got a little tipsy on a Saturday.
ahead and stop right here. Go empty out the grain cart, come back, and get this ridge finished. And I hope everyone can appreciate just how truly, incredible it is that these rows can move the way that they do. And that it's not just straight back and forth up and down the hill. Now they're, obviously a little jaggedy. It's not a nice smooth curve in areas like right there, but it still makes the curve. It still, does contour a bit. Is it 100% accurate? No. But all in all, it's genuinely impressive. So we're going to continue on combining here. I'm having I'm honestly having an absolute blast being able to even kind of contour this field and have the rows, go remotely in the right direction for it. So this is going to be fun. I am definitely contouring throughout the rest of the series anytime we're on a hill. So that being said, I do plan on expanding this farm some more yet, but that is definitely going to be a few years down the road, unfortunately. But first things first, we need to get this thing emptied out, get the grain bin full here, and get back out here so we can continue combining. All right, we're getting pulled up here, and just like we did with the beans, we'll go ahead and dump in the rear hopper. Run up here, get the truck fired up, get it unloading. And everything will unload directly into the bin now. So this is honestly a really, really good system. I'm very happy with doing it this way. And definitely plan on doing it this way for probably the rest of this series, to be completely honest. All right, we have the grain cart and the combine full again. And as you can tell, I got a little indecisive and unsure on which way to combine. And a big part of that was these rows are definitely not growing in the way that I planted up here on this ridge. I did not plant with this much contour to it. I definitely planted it a lot straighter than what the rows are growing up here on the ridge anyway, and it definitely threw me off. So next year when I plant, I'm going to try planting a completely different way and see if it's maybe just the way I planted. Maybe I need to be a little more aggressive with my angle, or maybe it's just the way the corn grows on this field or this part of the field. I honestly don't know, but now we're back to running a little bit straighter, a little more true to the way I planted. It's still not quite the same direction, but at least we're kind of running some straight rows up here on the ridge like we should be, so I'm pretty happy with that. Just, yeah, trying to figure out the angles has been a bit of a pain. Alright, so we finished up the ridge. We ended up with a third grain cart load. So that's already been taken down to the bin. We just unloaded the combine into the grain cart. And we're now ready to go ahead and start rolling on our contour again. So we'll hammer these rows out. And once we're done with the side hill here, we'll have nothing but straight rows left for down on the bottom here. Alright, the grain cart is full again, and our combine is pretty much full. So we're going to run to the bin site. This is cart number 4, I do believe. Hopefully I haven't lost count already. And, I'd say we're probably 3/4 of the way done with the field. You can see we're, definitely getting there. It's a little slow, but, can't expect a whole lot with an 8-row head. But the yield is definitely good, which is very good, because we're still very, very broke. We need a lot of money, and we're definitely not going to get it all this year. That is for certain. Alright, this is grain cart load number 5, and we're officially done with all of the contour rows here, so it's just going to be straight back and forth to finish the field up. And I'm not sure if we're going to get a full grain cart for what's left in this field. Not sure that it'll be, we'll have a full 6th grain cart, but it's going to be close. There's still quite a bit of corn to get out of the field yet, but we're going to run out of long rows here in just a couple of passes, and everything's going to start, moving into short rows. So, unfortunately, that means a lot of turning around, a lot of wasted time. But it's okay, because we're, we're getting close to wrapping up harvest here. Now we have a ridiculous amount of, corn stalks we need to get baled up. So that's going to take quite some time. It's, 3:15 in the afternoon, so I'm guessing we'll probably be baling into the night in order to get it done, but it's something we have to do because we have got to make some money. All right, we are officially done with harvest. We had 5,200 liters on the combine here. I'm getting emptied off into the semi so we can get this combine cleaned up and put away. The grain cart is sitting out in the field still, and it is full. So that'll be 6 full grain carts plus this 5,200 liters here. So that was a very, very good harvest. Now we'll go ahead and get this all cleaned up, put away, and then we can get into our baling. All right, we got everything put away. All the grain is in the bin. Everything's cleaned up, maintenanced. So we are ready to go ahead and start baling. I have no idea how many straw bales we're going to get off this, but I do have the bale counter reset. And I got a feeling we're definitely going to be baling into the night, as it is 4 o'clock on the dot. So we've got quite a bit of baling to do. This is going to definitely take a minute. So we'll get all this cleaned up, get them all picked up, stored. And I will see you guys in the month of November. All right, welcome into November, everyone. We went ahead and finished baling up all of our corn stalks last month, and it did get late into the evening. We got done about 8 o'clock by the time we got done picking everything up. I went ahead and put stock bales in all of our cattle lots and the barn up here. Or I guess 2 of our cattle lots, the ones that actually have cattle in them, and the barn up here. So they're full on straw. And we ended up with another 65 bales of corn stalks that we're going to go ahead and sell this month. As you can see, we're down to $3,600. Things are not looking great right now. So we're going to have to try and get some things sold this month and hopefully get that other $25,000 loan that we took and get that paid off right away. We'll be sitting just fine if we can get that paid off. So we're going to sell some stock bales this month, probably sell some of our hay bales this month. I don't think we're going to sell everything. I don't want to not have, an emergency stash anyway. Just in case, we need more money for something, or, all of a sudden our cattle really start booming and needing feed. So not going to sell all of it. I still need to check prices. We may sell some corn or soybeans this month. Not really sure. Still got to check prices, see where it's at, but we kind of don't have a choice. We might end up just having to take whatever we can get no matter what. So that's going to be maybe not good, maybe okay. Really not sure. And we have, all of our fall field work that we still have to do, since we haven't done anything other than harvest. So there's plenty of work for us to get done this month. But as always, we're going to start off by doing all of our chores, getting our milk hauled, and then we can worry about selling and doing fall field work. All right, we've got 1,897 gallons of milk on the trailer here. So we'll get this hauled into town, get it sold off, and adjust the price accordingly. All right, we're getting pulled in here down at the creamery, so we'll go ahead and get this sold off. And we need to add $144. All right, so that puts us up to $8,444. So we'll head back, get this trailer unhooked. We need to hook up to our hopper again and figure out whether we're going to sell corn or what we're going to sell soybeans. All right, well, we're pulling into the co-op with a load of soybeans. The corn price is absolutely plummeted, and the soybean future doesn't look like it's going to change much over the next few months, so we're going to go ahead and sell off all of our soybeans. That'll be enough to cover our loan, and then our corn stalks and hay bales will give us a little bit of breathing room that we need to make sure we can keep paying all of our loans and stuff. So we'll go ahead and get this load sold off here. All right, we need to take $31,151 off. All right, we got a couple more trips we got to make down here, so we'll get, like I said, we'll go ahead and sell off all of our soybeans, make sure we get enough to pay off the $25,000 loan I had to take back in either July or August. I can't remember which month it was, but we need to get that paid off. And our soybeans will definitely be enough to cover it, so we'll go ahead and sell all of those. And hopefully our corn price comes back, you know, sometime in the spring or the summer, so that, you know, we're not actually losing money on our corn, because right now the corn price is really, really bad. All right, we're down here at the co-op with our last load. We've got 1,060 bushels on, so we'll go ahead and get these sold off and get our price adjusted one last time. All right, we need to go ahead and take $28,843 off. All right, and that puts us at $35,517. Pretty happy with that. Not a terrible soybean sell, but definitely not as good as last year. And also, that first load I definitely added instead of subtracting, so got that fixed. So we are right where we need to be. We're at $35,517. So we're going to run this back to the home place. All right, we have our gooseneck hooked up here, and it is fully loaded. We've got 26 bales on here. And moving from here on forward, I am going to be using the auto load trailer just to save some time with our operation growing. Loading bales with the tractor is definitely taking quite a while, and this is an easy way to save a little bit of time and not be like ridiculously cheaty. So we will be using the auto load feature from here on out, but we're going to go ahead and get these sold, and we are selling them for $80 a bale. All right, we pulled in down here at the bale sale, so we'll go ahead and get these bales sold off and adjust the price as needed. All right, we need to pull back $6,749. All right, and that puts us at $37,594. So all in all, I think we're sitting pretty good for this month. Definitely have enough to pay that loan off and get us through until at least December here. So I think I'm going to hold off and wait to sell any more bales until maybe we can get a little better price, you know, here in the winter. But we definitely have plenty of fall tillage we need to do. We have a lot of slurry and manure we need to get spread. So we're going to go ahead and jump into that when we get back to the home place. All right, well, I got Grandpa working up in the north field, and he's spreading manure for me. I'm gonna go ahead and spread this lime out. This field is ready for it, so we'll get this whole field limed, and then we can start spreading slurry with the 4786. But first, lime needs to be put down, and we have more than enough slurry to cover everything, I do believe. We don't have as much manure, but I don't believe that's going to be an issue because of how much slurry we actually have. So I'm going to hammer this out with the lime. This field shouldn't take very long, and I didn't have to buy any, and I don't think I'll need to buy any due to the fact that I had so much sitting in the shed. But if we do have to buy some, that means I'm going to have to sell some more bales, because we definitely don't have the money to be buying a whole bunch of lime. But I'm going to go ahead and hammer this out, and hopefully by the time I'm done doing this, Grandpa should be done spreading manure up in the north field. And maybe I can get him started in on running some slurry for me. All right, we got the lime all put down on this field. Grandpa got all the manure spread in the north field, and he's currently running the cultivator up in the north field. The 7250 does have enough power to pull that cultivator. I don't know if it'll do it on, our hilly field or not, but for that nice flat field up there, it definitely will. So he's running that. That's going to save us a bunch of time being able to have him do some cultivating while I'm out here spreading slurry. And we have a lot of slurry to spread. So we're going to do this field and the other big field. Should have more than enough slurry to spread across both of them. And yeah, so far everything's going pretty well in this department. Just a matter of getting everything put down on the ground before we work it into the ground. So I'm going to go ahead, keep running this. Grandpa's going to keep cultivating, and we should be able to hammer all of this out in no time. So we got all of the slurry spread on the bean field, so we're going to move on to the corn field here, get it spread. Grandpa finished cultivating up in the north field, so he's moved down into our bean field here, getting it prepped and ready to be turned into corn next year. So this is about all we have left for this fall here. There's not going to be a whole lot going on this winter. We're going to sell some bales, but we don't have any animals to sell, and we don't have any corn to sell, at least as of right now. But that may change, and I really, really hope it does, because we definitely need better corn prices here. But we're just going to go ahead and finish spreading the slurry here, finish cultivating, and that'll be about it for this year, and I think this is going to be it for this episode. So if you guys like what you're seeing, please make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode.